Do you remember the last time you talked to Aunt Bee?
I talked to her?
Yes.
Yes.
Was she very sick?
Yes. I hadn't talked to her in a long time. I went to see her and unannounced, and she flew all over me because I had come unannounced. So Lee Greenway was the makeup man on that show, and Lee Greenway was able to get Frances on the stage because she wasn't always in real great shape emotionally. And so Lee called me and said, Frances wants to talk to you. So I called her up. Hi, Frances. Oh, Andy, she said, I must be made of cast iron. I've had a heart attack. Now I have cancer. I'm only now just starting to die. And she said, I said, well, Frances, she said, no, you can't do anything for me. She said, I'm sorry we didn't get along better. She said it was my fault, and she said I just wish we had. And you ran the show, and you made the show a success, and I'm just sorry we didn't get along better. We got along fine. It's just that she didn't feel like it a lot of times.
She was really typed as Aunt Bee.
Yeah. So she called. She wanted to talk to me to say goodbye. That's some experience.
So you knew this was the last time you'd be talking to her?
Yes. Yeah.
The Live Stream Code and Rating Administration has rated this online event PG. All ages admitted. Please be kind and stay on topic.
Welcome to the Good Stuff Live. My name's Dave Sundstrom, and if you enjoy talking about music, movies, mostly TV from decades gone by, you've come to the right place. So, we've got a good group in the chat already, so let me take a look and see who's here. Scroll up to the top, scrolling. Looks like Gary Carpenter was first to arrive. Welcome, Gary. Good to have you here. As Mike Silva was here, bright and early. Mike Silva says, watching Pluto TV for Doug on the 90s Kids channel. It's my favorite cartoon series. My boys enjoyed that show as well. And Mike Silva said, love the Andy Griffith show. As do I. The Nostalgic Pod Blast, welcome, says, is this a Taylor Swift free zone? Do you want it to be? What it isn't is a Lawrence Welk free zone. Sorry, my friend. Welcome, and good to have you here as well, Chance. Let's see what we've got here. Scrolling down, looks like some good conversation between those folks. And then David Thomas popped in around 20 minutes after the hour. Good evening to you, sir. A little bit of trivia from the Nostalgic Pod Blast, who says, did you know that Tabitha was originally spelled Tabitha? I think it was Tabitha, but T-A-B-I-T-H-A, right? And then they changed it to T-A-B-A-T-H-A. Does not surprise me in any way, Chance. Let's see. Hey, channel member Tracy Roth Myers is here. I am so sorry to hear that you're not feeling well, Tracy. Hang out with us as long as you can, and then when you got to go, you gots to go. Especially if I know you're you've got a job to go to most days, and so if you need to hit the sack and get feeling better, use that time to recuperate, you very well should. Let's see who else is here. Scrolling through the conversation, and I might miss someone, and if I do, please don't hate me. But let's see, lots of conversation between those folks, and then I see David Razum arriving about 25 minutes after the hour. Welcome, David. Good to have you here with us. And let's see, who else is here? A Child, welcome. Good to have you here on the live stream with us tonight, as it is also delightful to have Tammy Patton here. Welcome, Tammy. Karen Lester's here. Channel member Dominic D. Hey, my friend. Good to have you with us. Adrian James, welcome. So good to have you here with us as well. Hope everybody's week is going awesome so far. Dolph Quick, welcome to the live stream. Coach Darren says, still watch Andy reruns, as do I. We'll talk a little bit more about the Andy Griffith show tonight. I have a video I'm going to share about why I think the black and white seasons are the better seasons, the first 5 seasons. But for me, the Andy Griffith show is just an escape. It's a television oasis for me. When, the world around us, it's so chaotic, and sometimes it can almost get to be too much. Firing up an episode of Andy, well, it just does the trick. Alo Duarte says, sorry I'm late. Good evening, Dave, distinguished guests, super fans, channel members, and good stuff gang. Live from New York, it is Alfred O. Duarte. Always a treat to have you with us, my friend. Here we go. Our first milestone chat message of the evening is from Tug, also well-known as well-known author, Eric McGill. And he has been a member for 2 months. Thank you for that, Eric. Really appreciate your support. Says, I loved your RoboCop versus Piper video. I'm glad you did. I responded to your comment. This is a video that I published earlier today, and it was a fun video for me to put together. I'd been actually contacted by the folks over at Fan Home, and they asked me if I wanted to do a sponsored video. And I love doing sponsored videos for Fan Home, because what I can build into the agreement is for them to send me whatever I'm talking about. And I love the 1987 movie RoboCop. And that was one of their kits they have. And so they gave me, in addition to enough to take the wife out to dinner, they gave me a subscription to the RoboCop kit. And so I'm talking about the RoboCop kit as in terms of the sponsored message. And I figured I need to do a RoboCop video. And I was trying to think of something that would be kind of unique, and I stumbled across, I'd seen this episode when I was much younger. Anyway, I stumbled across an episode of the RoboCop television series from 1993 that had Rowdy Roddy Piper as a guest star. And anyway, that was the inspiration for that video, and I'm glad you enjoyed it, Eric. I certainly enjoyed putting it together. I think I told you. Interestingly, you just never know which videos are going to be a hit and which ones aren't. At least I don't. And that one has turned out to be, at least in the first day, my worst performing video ever. So, you got to smile, you laugh, and you just move on and make more videos, because as a creator, that's what I love doing. I love sharing my memories with all of you, in hopes that it's kind of an exchange, right? It's an exchange in that I share my memories with you, and then in the comments section, you all share your memories with me. All right, let's keep moving, because there's lots of folks that have arrived. Marshall Harris, great to have you here as well. Let's see. Monica One Joy, welcome to the live stream tonight. I think I said hi to Superfan Dominic D, but I'd better say hi again just in case I didn't. BK on the air. My friend Barry King, always a treat to have you with us. 66 Kimball. Channel member Emily Miller says, hey, y'all, don't know how long I'll be here. We're at the hospital. Oh, my goodness. I hope everything is okay. Emily. David C. says, do flu shots help prevent upper respiratory infections, or are they two different things? I do not know the answer to that question. If only we had a doctor in the house. Let's see. Who else is here? Lamont Bradford says, I want a Taylor-free zone. Too bad she took over the NFL. Yeah, her and Travis Kelce apparently still a thing. Still a thing. Milestone message from Tracy Roth-Myers. Recovering from a respiratory infection and a member for, get this, 24 months. She says, I'm looking for a new job, but thank you, Dave. Well, I wish you the very best of luck in your quest, Tracy. Truly do. Kenneth Wilkinson, welcome to the live stream. Let's see who else is here. Another milestone message, this time from Dominic Deese, who has been a member for 16 months. Holy cow. Have we been doing it that long? Wow. Says, thanks for all the great live streams, Dave. And what I would say to you, Dominic D., and to everyone that is hanging out with me tonight, thank you for attending, hanging out with me, albeit virtually. You are what make these live streams great. My friend Barry King says, I feel the same about the Andy Griffith Show and Gomer Pyle USMC. I'm not sure what the initial comment was, but I'm sure it was something positive about those shows because they are so darn great. Let's see. Nostalgic Podblast said, saw the original RoboCop in the theater twice. I don't know if I did or not. I've seen it many times, but maybe only in the theater once. It was a very violent movie. That was one of the things that it was quite notorious for at the time, was the level of violence that they showed on screen. Of course, the director of that movie was Paul Verhoeven, who has never been known to hold back on screen. Gary Carpenter says, BK, I'm more for the Addams Family and the Munsters plus Bewitched. Great shows as well. Let's see. Barry King on the air says, enjoyed the RoboCop TV series. Underrated. Yeah, it only ran for one season. And one of the things that I've discovered about that show as I've started watching some of those episodes is that it may not be as sophisticated as the motion picture, particularly the original RoboCop, but there's still a very nice satirical level of commentary that's going on. The one with Roddy Piper is all about children's programming. And, it's been a topic of conversation for decades. What shouldn't you show to children? How much advertising should be involved in the programs? Can television shows actually just be 30-minute commercials for toys? All those kind of things were covered in that particular episode. Tug says, channel member Tug, says, my videos always do the opposite of what I expect. I stopped trying to predict which ones will do well. Yeah, it's really difficult to know. It really is. I totally understand what you're saying there. I should quit trying to guess. Hey, the thing, good to have you here. Appreciate you coming and hanging out with us this evening. Channel member Justin Aylett says, I enjoyed Dark Shadows when it went to color rather than black and white. It was easier to make fun of all the bloopers. Yeah, there are some shows that actually I prefer in color as opposed to their black and white seasons as well. The Andy Griffith Show is not one of them. Let's see what we have here. John Doe's hanging out with us, as is Rob Aiken. Hey, good to have both of you here with us. So glad you love being here, child. It's always a treat to have you hanging out. Tuck Graff, welcome to the live stream. Let's see. Channel member Dominic D says, I never saw or heard of the RoboCop TV series. Was it a network show? No, it was in syndication. And prior to the live action television series, which I think it was 93, 94 that it was on TV, there was an animated series that I think Marvel Animation produced. Let's see. The Nostalgic Pod Blast has a request, a bionic live chat. We can definitely do that. Maybe that would be a great one for you to attend on screen, Chance. I would appreciate that. Kind of like maybe just noodle that one about. I've got like a backlog of live stream topics and guests I'd like to have. Justin Aylett hit me up about talking about fast food and fast food commercials, and that would be an awful fun one to do as well. Marshall Harris says, I've been watching My Three Sons on YouTube. I was too young when the black and white episodes originally aired. Glad to see them now. That's the beautiful thing about syndication and reruns, right, Marshall, is that you get a chance to catch shows that we never would have caught. We never would have caught some of the shows that I grew up with, that I love, like the Andy Griffith Show, Batman, Star Trek, all of these shows. Really, I mean, they were in prime time when I was too young to enjoy them. And so now, or back then, I should say in the 70s as a kid, it was when I really grew to love those shows. Let's see. Tammy Patton asks, did anyone see the trailer for the Fall Guy movie? It looks really good. It does look like it's going to be a great movie. I don't know how true it is going to hold to the spirit or the characters that were in the Fall Guy TV series. I'm excited to find out because it does look good, and it feels like it's a show that I'm probably actually going to go to the theater to watch. So I'm excited about it. Let's see. I am so sorry, Emily. Hopefully everything is okay with your wife. I mean, any kind of stroke, mini or otherwise, is horrible. So you are in my thoughts tonight, you and your wife and your family. I just hope the very best for you. Let's see what else we've got going here. Rochelle B, channel member Rochelle B, the Partly Normal LMT. Always good to have you hanging out with us. Appreciate you being here. Let's see. Nostalgic Pod Blast saw the Fall Guy trailer before the Marvels Thursday. Let's see. Tuck Graff says, when the robot started shooting up people in the boardroom, I knew RoboCop was going to be different. Yes. Chance, aka the Nostalgic Pod Blast, says just smash the like button. Folks, do me a favor. If you are enjoying the live stream, if you enjoy my live streams, I surely would appreciate you hitting that thumbs up button and expressing your appreciation that way. Rochelle B says, I did not think it would be a good idea to reboot the Fall Guy. You know what? You never know with reboots. You really don't. I've only seen the first 2 episodes of Frasier, but that's one where, I don't know, I could change my mind later on. I initially was hopeful with Night Court, but have since kind of fallen off the wagon on that show. And I don't know if how long I'm going to be watching the new Frasier reboot either. Let's see what else we got here in the comments that I can put on the screen. Yes, the 80s were a different time. 66 Kimball says, prefer first 3 black and white seasons of The Fugitive as opposed to the last season in color. There's something about black and white. It evokes a feeling, certain emotions, right? Mr. Led's here. Hey, Dave, doing the dishes for my wife. You're a good man. Even if she hadn't hurt her back, we should be helpers, you and I, when our wives need us to. So I'm glad you're listening to me with your headphones, and thank you for helping out around the house. Tom McCluskey's in the house. Welcome, Tom. Good to have you with us. Let's see. Rob Aiken, I totally agree. The Andy Griffith Show and Twilight Zone always needed to be in black and white. Sailor Mercury says, my first exposure to RoboCop was through RoboCop versus the Terminator game on the Sega Genesis. Cool. Very cool. Hey, this is a good stopping point. I'm only 2 minutes behind in comments. I'm going to share a video or 2, and then I'm going to come right back, and we're going to talk a whole heck of a lot more. So, folks, don't go anywhere. Please do not go anywhere. But, I said that this would be a classic TV evening, and so I've got a few. We've been talking a little bit about the Andy Griffith Show in black and white and shows that are better in black and white. Let me share 5 reasons why I think the Andy Griffith Show was better in black and white, and then I may bring on the Cape Crusader to serenade us for a minute, and then I'll be right back. When the Andy Griffith Show returned for its 6th season on CBS, viewers were in for a big change. All of a sudden, Mayberry was brimming with color. Yep, the network had made the decision to begin filming in color, and one might think that the show would be all the better for it. But you know what? I'm one of those guys who thinks that the show was better off when it was filmed in black and white. And I've got 5 reasons to substantiate my claim. So without any further ado, let's start with number 5. And number 5 is simply that the show had originally been planned to run for 5 years. As such, the stories that were crafted for all of the wonderful residents of Mayberry didn't have the same sort of fatigue that seemed to creep into later seasons. They were original and lively, and the cast of characters for those first few seasons all seemed to really play well off of each other. Floyd the Barber, Ernest T., and the Darling family. So much fun. And at number 4, I've got to talk just a bit about the music in the show. Talking about the Darling family reminded me about it. But is it my imagination, or did the later seasons not seem to utilize music the same way that the earlier seasons did? So many episodes early on included Andy playing his guitar on the front porch, and of course the Darling family. Well, they were awesome. And I really loved the episodes during Season 1 featuring James Best as Jim Lindsay, a local Mayberry boy who makes it big in the music industry. Do me a favor and type in the phrase Andy Griffith guitar, those 3 words, into Google and do an image search. Do you see any color photos from the series? Me neither. Reasons number 3 and 2 are that Gomer and Barney left the show. I've already talked about the great cast, and I don't want to take anything away from George Lindsay, who played Goober, but there is only one Gomer Pyle, and quite frankly, Jim Nabors played him to perfection. He was such a popular character on the show that, as everyone knows, he got his own show. It was great in its own right, but still, Mayberry never quite recovered from the day that Gomer joined the Marines. And Don Knotts? Well, there are those that simply say that the show should not have bothered to go on. That the Andy Griffith Show was really the Don Knotts Show. I disagree with those fans, but I do understand where they are coming from. So does Jack Burns, the talented comedic actor who was asked to step into Knotts' shoes. Things did not go well, and before you knew it, Deputy Warren was gone. Speaking about the loss of Nabors and Knotts, I've got to say that I don't think the addition of Anita Corso as a recurring love interest for Andy helped much. While some fans love Helen Crump, other fans like myself feel like she was a bit of a wet blanket. Why did Ellie have to leave? Why? Even if Andy didn't end up romantically involved with her, she was a wonderfully strong female character on the show and could have added strength in the later years when many of the other recurring cast members didn't appear as frequently or were gone altogether. And the number one reason, and while some of you may scratch your heads and say, no duh, I don't think this one can be discounted at all. The number one reason is that these stories just felt like they were meant to be black and white. There are times when less is more and more is less, and if that makes any sense at all, this was definitely one of those times. The black and white episodes have a timeless feel to them, while the color episodes feel dated. It's hard to explain, but the limited palette of the earlier episodes created a sense of intimacy that was immediately lost when the show started filming in color. So that's it. What do you think? Do you enjoy the black and white episodes of the Andy Griffith Show more? Or do you feel like the later seasons in color were just as much fun to watch? Please share your memories in the comments section below, and while you're at it, please click on the thumbs up icon and give this video a like. Also, I would be absolutely honored if you considered subscribing to my channel. I talk about music, movies, and television, mostly from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. You know, the good stuff. But most importantly, and as always, thank you so much for watching.
I was walking along, minding my business, when out of an orange-colored sky, slam, bam, zowie and wham, four evil crooks came by. I was singing a song, drinking in sunshine, acting as friendly as could be. Crunch, plop, crackle and pop, they threw their curves at me. Somebody yelled, "Hey, Batman, what are you waiting for?" With a zap and a crack, I began my attack. After that, they were flat on the floor. So I'm walking along, carefully watching, in case they should make another try. Zonk, pow, here they are now, out of an orange-colored sky. There goes the last of the villains. All of you crooks beware. I'll pursue every clue that'll lead me to you. I'll let you stay, but you must change your way. Anytime there's a crime, I'll be there. I was walking along, minding my business, when love came and hit me in the eye. Scoot, scat, just like a bat, out of an orange-colored sky.
Love that. I love Adam West. What a great actor and human being he was. All right, let's get back to some of these comments. Okay, let's see. By the way, did I see Pat McCormick drop in? That's awesome. Folks, I say this every time Pat pops in, but if you are not a subscriber to the golden age of TV, in particular lately, you are truly missing out. And I'm talking about my channel as well. I don't think there is a better channel out there. This guy knows his stuff when it comes to classic television. Not only that, but he's an incredibly talented musician, but that's neither here nor there to what he talks about on his channel, which is he brings on some of the greats from television from decades gone by, and the way that he interviews them. He is one of the kindest interviewers I've ever listened to. And what happens when you are kind, right? It's just like in real life. When you're kind to people, what happens? Well, they let down their guard. They tell stories. They let you in. And that's what these people do with Pat. His latest interview, which is the season 3 finale of his podcast, it's over on his YouTube channel right now, is with Dreama Denver. I've listened to it twice. That's how much I've loved it. He really got her to tell some amazing stories about Bob, their family, her life. And she is an incredibly strong woman. And I don't know if any other interviewer has ever gotten someone to share the way he has got Dreama to share. So subscribe to the channel. Do yourself a favor. You will thank me later. It's great. Great to have you here, Pat. All right, let's see what else we got going here. Nostalgic Pod Blast says is watching My Three Sons. Problem is those early seasons of My Three Sons are sometimes hard to find on TV. Let's see what we got. There he is. Yeah, Pat McCormack in the house. Tutgraph says, something I noticed about the Andy Griffith episode, Birdman Opie. It has no laugh track. Is it season 3 opener that is Opie the Birdman? I think that's the title. What a special episode that is. That's one of those episodes that I can watch over and over. The lessons I learned as a child and the lessons I learned as an adult, right? They're different, but equally important lessons in both cases. All right, who else is here and what are we saying? I'm going to try to move through the chat quickly. Tug says, have any of the recent television series reboots been good? I can't answer that. I can't think of one, but maybe one of you guys can. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Tracy says, channel member Tracy Rothmeyer said that she just met Wally Kurth and he's a really nice guy. I bet you Pat would agree with that comment. A channel member, Justin Aylett, prefers The Wizard of Oz in color. Well, you get it both ways. It starts out in black and white and then moves into color. And it's very effective in the way it uses that technique. And Tug says he prefers the Wizard of Oz on the dark side of the moon. Have any of you done that? We actually had a planetarium that synced that up for us. And that was awful fun to listen to that while they played The Wizard of Oz. Let's see. Nick at Night. Yeah, Mike, I totally agree. Nick at Night was great in its heyday. Let's see. David C., welcome to the live stream tonight, says Jimmy Stewart didn't want It's a Wonderful Life to be in color. I think there's a lot of folks that didn't want their black and white movies to be colorized. Hey, Blotchy Bear, great to have you with us. Chance says that MeTV always skips a key Beverly Hillbillies episode, The Feud. Oh, well, there you go. I think a lot of the channels these days are, if there's things, imagery that could potentially be perceived nowadays as offensive, they'll do what they can to eliminate that. Let's see. A new ATLA is coming out next year as what is ATLA? Emily, you're going to have to spell that out for some of us that aren't good with abbreviations. Yes, the Addams Family was great in black and white, as were the Hillbillies, for sure. Mayberry RFD was a different show. It really was kind of a continuation of the Andy Griffith show, but it was in color, and it just wasn't the same. But I will say this, I enjoy some of those episodes of Mayberry RFD. They're still a lot of fun. Tuck Graff says that the characters didn't look right in black and white. I thought they looked perfect in black and white, but it's just one of those things that we're going to agree to disagree on. Oh, wait, you said color. Okay, now we can agree to agree. Let's see what else we got here. Ken Berry was so much better in Mama's Family than he was in Mayberry RFD. I loved him in both, Justin. It's one of those things where I almost feel like they're such different characters. It's apples to oranges. Let's see what else we got here. Chance says the Munsters looked wild in color in the pilot show and in the movie Munsters Go Home. Yeah, I think that was one of those shows that benefited from being in black and white as well. And I do agree with Marshall. The whole atmosphere of a show can change when it moves to color. Let's think about Lost in Space. That first season, despite the fact that the overacting of Jonathan Harris as Dr. Smith, still it was the episodes were fairly serious. And yet when it moved to color, it became a lot sillier. Doesn't mean I loved it any less, but it became a lot sillier. Mr. Led says, not a big Andy watcher, but I watched a color episode the other day, and it didn't seem the same. So I vote for black and white. There you go. You and me both. Let's see. Yeah, Chance, that's cool. I will tell you that my father starts every day by watching Matlock on MeTV, and I enjoy it as well. I don't think it stands up to the Andy Griffith show, but, different strokes for different folks. Oh, there you go. Pat McCormick says a profound difference in the quality of writing when Lost in Space went to color. Absolutely, absolutely. Let's see what else we got here. Gary Carpenter wants to find Yankee Doodle Dandy in color. Warren didn't destroy the show. I want to say the show destroyed poor Jack Burns, who had to step into Don Knotts' big shoes and just never could. And his character of Warren wasn't extremely well written. As a matter of fact, I believe some of those episodes were actually written for Don Knotts, and then they had to be rewritten. They just needed a deputy character in there. The Matlock theme song blows away Andy Griffith. Justin Aylett. Super fan, Justin Aylett. If you really are one, how can you say that? I can't even think of the Matlock theme song right now, but I can obviously think of the Andy Griffith theme song. Oh, good gravy. Hey, look at that. Lance Chaffin's here. Hey, Lance, good to have you with us. David C. says he liked Peggy as Andy's girlfriend. Yeah, I did too. She was really wonderful. Andy had some good girlfriends. None of them stuck around for some strange reason. Let's see. Superfan channel member Dominic D says television producers can't seem to get any new fresh ideas. They're rebooting everything these days, including a new Matlock, right? Soon to come with Kathy Bates. Let's see. Not to brown nose, says Mr. Led, but Pat made all the themes better. Oh, yeah, he has. I mentioned he was a musician. I mentioned that his channel is really about classic television, but he shows off his talent on his channel with just some amazing renditions of some classic television themes. Okay, let's see what else we've got here. I'm going to try to move through these quickly. Yes, Tug, he was the greatest of all time. Probably my favorite actor of all time. I'm glad you're enjoying it, Tracy. Again, I hope you get feeling better, sweet lady. All right, let's see. Oh, Marshall thinks that Andy Griffith composed the theme for Matlock. That's interesting. I don't know if that's true, but let's go with it. I love seeing Batman cheerful and singing too. The singing parts, I just like seeing him cheerful. I like a cheerful Batman. Let's see. And Blatchy Bear must be referring to the Batman singing performance that I shared earlier. Yes, Tutgraph is right. Adam West could have been 007 if he hadn't been contracted to Batman. Let's see. Oh, I love this. Mr. Led says the original Masked Singer. Hey, and Pamela Mays is here. Yep, the Caped Crooner. I love that. I love that. Let's see what else we have going on. Lots of folks saying hello to each other. Oh, you're right. Now, this was in the Justice League animated series. Yes. When Batman sang Am I Blue. That is a great episode, Tammy, and I'm glad you brought that up. Kevin Conroy, what a special person he was as well, and it's tough to think that he's left us. His vocal work on Batman, the animated series, was just nothing short of phenomenal. He was a great Batman. And interestingly enough, I saw him as a guest on Matlock not too long ago. Let's see. Mike D, channel member Mike D is in the house. I hope I don't know if you missed anything all that awesome, but we're just hanging out tonight talking about classic TV. I'm reading comments like this one from super fan John Collins says, hi, you guys. I didn't know this was going to happen. Here's the deal, John. I didn't know it was going to happen either. I thought my next live stream was going to be on Sunday, and I've had that one out there ready to go for a few days now. But I've got a home with sickies in it, people that are not feeling well, and as such, I didn't have a lot to do tonight. So I thought I'd get on and spend a little time with you guys. Hope you don't mind. Good to have you here, John. Let's see. Who else is here? Anytime, Pat. Anytime. Melissa Foster, welcome to the live stream. Good to have you with us, Melissa. Always a treat to have you hanging out. Nostalgic Pod Blast says that Night Court is okay. Could have been so much better. That's all I can say about that. Maybe it still will be, right? I thought that the original Night Court really got its footing on the third season when they added Marky Post. And so maybe it still will. It's only had one season so far. Raja 1938's here hanging out with us. Good to have you here, Raja 1938 says, I like the Mission Impossible reboot from the 90s, not the movies. I like them all. The Tom Cruise movies are so dramatically different from what we had, right? But they're still good. They're great, epic movies. And so much like all the different versions of Batman I enjoy, I can enjoy all the different versions of Mission Impossible as well. All right, we're moving along. Chris Mason is asking the same thing. Oh, there we go. Asking, what is ATLA? And Emily Miller, channel member Emily Miller, says, Avatar, The Last Airbender. Yes, the new Netflix. It's a new Netflix series, right? It looks great. That could be a great reboot. I'm just scrolling through here. Tom McCluskey's been watching The Partridge Family. That's always a great way to, come on and get happy. There's no better way than watching The Partridge Family. Let's see. Channel member John Collins says, hey, Dave, I didn't get a notification from YouTube that this was going to happen. Probably because I set it up less than an hour before it started, I should say. So I don't know if I gave YouTube enough time to send out notifications. Melissa Foster says, I think that Petticoat Junction was funnier in black and white than in color, with the exception of seasons 3 and 4. Let's see. Moving along. Oh, look at that. Super sticker from David Razum. That is so nice of you, David. Thank you so much, good sir. Appreciate you. It's very nice. Let me see what I can do here. Gotta find something for you. How about a little feel like a little fisticuffs is a way of saying thanks to you. Thanks for your support, David Razum. Truly appreciated. All right, let's see. Blatchy Bear says, Dave, what you talking about, the black and white changing to color, reminds me of the plot of the movie Pleasantville, in which Don Knotts was one of the stars in the film. Yeah, Don Knotts' great appearance in Pleasantville as the television repairman, the magical television repairman. Pleasantville is really a challenging movie for some because of the messages that it contains, but I really enjoy it. And well, you know what? I'm not necessarily speaking about Pleasantville here, but I think we should watch movies that present ideas that we don't always agree with. And the reason I say that, without getting too deep here, is that I think one of the real gifts that movies can give us is to allow us insight into the perspectives of others. And maybe their lives that are different than ours, and they make choices that are different than the choices we would make. They believe things that are different than we believe. But that's the magic. One of the magical things about movies and television shows is that they allow us insight and allow us to grow and progress as human beings. So I'll stop there. Pleasantville, though, it's a good movie. I'm glad Don did it. Let's see. Yes. I bet you Max Bear really did hate being his twin sister. And I know that towards the end there, I don't think he enjoyed being Jethro, which is why when they had the Beverly Hillbillies TV reunion movie a few years later, he was nowhere to be found. It's someone else. The guy that played Bigfoot in Bigfoot and Wild Boy. Can't remember his name at the moment, but he played Jethro in that. Raja 1938 says Adam West described his Batman as the Bright Knight, and indeed he was. General Ursus, welcome to the live stream, says Adam West got the role of Batman because he was spotted in a commercial. Yes, it was a Nestle Quick commercial where he was a character that spoofed James Bond. Great commercial, lots of fun. All right, I'm going to stop there for a minute. We're going to take care of some vintage sponsors. I got to make sure that we keep the vintage sponsors happy, and then I'll be back and we'll visit some more.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dick Clark.
Have I got music for you? 13 of your favorite albums for 1 penny when you join the Columbia Record and Tape Club. It's all here in TV Guide. The most music a little money can buy. And watch this. You can make it 14 albums for the same penny. Just put the number of any extra album in this gold box, and it's yours. So look for the gold box in TV Guide, the Sunday's Family Weekly, and these magazines.
Me, Joyce DeWitt, wear panty and pantyhose in one? Not unless they're undie legs, the one with the stay put panty. Undie legs. For the gal who never stays put. They all get rid of ugly panty lines, but this one won't slip or slide around. Undie legs for the gal who never stays put. Undie legs, panty and pantyhose in one.
Nothing beats a great pair of legs.
Friday, get ready for a hot new breed of cops.
They ain't like ordinary cops.
OC, Nick, and Sam. You'll never believe they're the good guys.
Oh, they're good.
Because they're such bad cats.
I'm the big cheese on my team. The other guy's playing 65% polyester. Me, 100% cashmere, man. Every club wanted me, but I signed with the Chipmunks. Got an 8-year contract. All the Cheetos I want. The big cheese. They're made with real cheese. Tastes delicious. Now fans ask me to autograph my Cheeto snacks. Ever try writing to Skippy, Good Luck, Whip Willis on a cheese puff?
Cheetos brand cheese-flavored snacks. The big cheese.
McDonald's.
For you parents who don't speak Klingonese, he's saying, people of Earth, unite and bring your kids to McDonald's for a Star Trek meal. That's a regular hamburger, fries, soft drink, a McDonald's and cookie sampler, and a Star Trek prize. Oh, yes, 5 different boxes based on Star Trek the Motion Picture. Action scenes, jokes, games. He says, take it from a father who knows. His kids love him. McDonald's Star Trek meal available for your kids now.
Your favorite comedy team moves to Monday. Laverne and Shirley hit the sidewalks of New York for a 1-hour special of fun, games, and surprises.
Marry him.
There, he was the world's fastest gun, an expert samurai, the master gunfighter. And welcome the 80s on New Year's Rockin' Eve with the Village People, Blondie, Chic, the Oak Ridge Mountain Boys, and Barry Manilow.
New Year's Rockin' Eve. I love that show. I don't watch it. You know what? I have a hard time staying up till midnight these days. But as a kid and a teenager, I loved watching that. All right, let's get back to some comments here. Duff Quick says, remember when Ted Turner colorized almost every black and white classic movie? Yeah, he was big into doing that. And I'm glad that has kind of gone away. Justin Aylett, channel member Justin Aylett, says, was Pleasantville Don Knotts' last movie? I believe it was. I believe it was. Blotchy Bear says, I think your next subject should be what's your favorite moment during the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade? Well, the next live stream is going to be about Thanksgiving for sure. And we could definitely ask that question. Let's see what else we got here. General Ursus asked, did I see the Rob Zombie version? Or maybe you're asking everybody in the chat. I don't know. Rob Zombie version of the Munsters. I did. It was okay. Didn't love it, but it was okay. Channel member Dominic D says, I remember Marky Post when she was on The Fall Guy. Yeah, she was great in that. And channel member Tracy Rothmeyer says, I love the 60s Mission Impossible. Yeah. Nostalgic Podblast says it's impossible to replace Harry Anderson and Marky Post. Very, very true. Channel member Tracy Rothmeyer says, loved the Hawaii Five-0 from the 60s. Loved the Hawaii Five-0 theme music. It was bad A. Bad A. Channel member John Collins says, are you still doing the live stream on Sunday as well? I am hoping to do so. I mean, I always reserve the right to cancel if I need to, but it's still in the books. Thank you for all your correspondence. Yes, I am looking forward to the movie version, General Ursus. It should be interesting. And I think it'll be good. I think it will be probably dramatically different. I have heard that there might be an appearance from Lee Majors in it. Little Wing says, are you still rocking the Diet Coke? Every single day, my friend. Every single day. Let's see what else we've got here. Absolutely. Bruce Lee versus Burt Ward. No competition. I like this. Chris Mason, welcome to the live stream, by the way, says, Don Knotts is really Mick Jagger without makeup. Oh, I see the similarities. Yeah. Lance Chaffin is asking if another member can gift him a membership. That's not the way it works, Lance. Unfortunately, if Tug were to go out and buy gift memberships, YouTube would dispense those memberships based on a number of different factors. One would be, how long has someone been a community member? How engaged are in the community? So it's not completely random. It's almost as if they're using an algorithm to dispense those gift memberships. So I have made the suggestion to YouTube that they should allow members to gift memberships to other members, but maybe they're worried that will cause members to start asking other members to gift memberships, which, I know that we're all friends here, and Tug, I'm sure, doesn't mind you asking him, but that could become a problem. You could end up with a virtual panhandling for channel memberships. So anyway, that's what YouTube does, and they probably aren't going to change it anytime soon. Oh, I like this comment. It's very true. Channel member Tug says it's easy to tolerate things you agree with. Tolerating things you don't agree with is a real challenge. Yeah, and I would go as far as to say tolerating is a word I used to use a lot and still do from time to time. But the real challenge is to move beyond tolerance, because tolerating means you really don't understand. And what we hope to understand is, even if you don't, or hope to achieve, even if you don't agree with everything, is to understand where someone's coming from. I love it, though, Tug. Thank you for sharing that. Let's see. Channel member Justin Aylett says, I agree, Dave, but it would be really hard to watch Legally Blonde 2 again. I love that. That is great. Let's see. Dolph Quick says, the only issue I have with the Mission Impossible movies, at least the first movie, is that they made Phelps a traitor. I am completely in agreement with you on that. That was a horrible move, and I was not pleased at all. Let's see. Willie says, welcome to the live stream, by the way. Willie says, I enjoyed your story on Van Williams, but you, and there's probably some more after that he'll get to in a minute. Hey, Sakina McMurrin's here. Love that. Great to have you here, Sakina. Always a treat. Blatchy Bear says, I am so happy that shows like Moonlighting, LA Law, and Dynasty can be viewed on Hulu. Takes me back to when I was a senior in high school. Great memories. You know what? I love streaming services, right? Streaming services are great because there's just this wealth of shows that we can go back and watch. What I don't love about streaming services is we've kind of become reliant upon them. We think, well, whatever we want to watch, we'll find on one of the streaming services. And that's just not the case. Go try to watch WKRP in Cincinnati these days. I think you can watch season 1 if you pay for the individual episodes or pay for the season just through Apple, just downloading those episodes. But it's nowhere to be found on streaming. And You know, it's just a very, it's why, and this makes me sad when I read like Best Buy is dropping their DVD section and Amazon's going to quit selling DVDs eventually. We need the physical media. It's a way that streamers there. I don't remember which one. It was Craters on Disney Plus. It was on there for 7 weeks and then they took it off. A new science fiction movie. And it's gone. It's in the ether. No one can watch it now anywhere. Moving along. Let's see. My first TV crush, says Kenneth Wilkinson, Emma Joe from the New Zoo Review. There you go. I had Columbia House cassettes. That's how old I am, Tug. I actually enjoy the moonlighting theme. I think it's great. I actually have that as part of a smooth jazz playlist. Mike D, channel member Mike D asks, did anyone buy any one of those K-Tel compilation albums in the 70s? I didn't buy one of those, Mike. I bought many of those. I had a lot of the K-Tel compilations just because they were a cheap way to have, a collection of great music from different artists. Bad Cat, yeah, with Michelle Pfeiffer. Let's see. Here we go. Willie says, enjoyed your story on Van Williams, but left out my favorite character. He played Ken Madison on Bourbon Street Beat and Surfside 6. The later theme song is one of TV's best. Yeah, it was a little bit too early for me, and I haven't gone back and been able to watch any of those reruns, but I've heard great things about those and want to go back and eventually catch up on those shows. Sakina says, Mom and Dad bought a TV guide every week growing up, Dave. Oh, you were lucky. We got it often, and my dad, whenever he traveled, would pick me up a TV guide from another city, and I'd, when he'd come home, I'd scour that TV guide to see what different programs were being played in other parts of the country. Hard to speak on live streams sometimes. Let's see. Oh, that McDonald's ice cream machine. You know what? It seems to be broken more than it works. That's all I can say about that, Tug. Yes, you've mentioned that, Tom. Alan Hell, not Alan Hell Jr., but Alan Hell was one of your dad's beer buddies. That's funny. Oh, let's see what else we got. Justin says, I don't want to know how YouTube determines who gets memberships. Yes, and YouTube does love their algorithms, right? Let's see. Channel member John Collins, super friend John Collins, says, does American Movie Classics have a streaming service? AMC is out there, right? But it has morphed into something completely different, much the same way that MTV no longer plays movies or music. AMC no longer really plays much in terms of movies. Really, the place that kind of the channel that has replaced that is Turner Classic Movies. And fortunately now they don't colorize. They play them in their original non-colorized version. Chance says you picked some choice video elements tonight. Well, I did my best. I still have one more with Elizabeth Montgomery that we'll share in a minute. Lance, don't you worry, my friend. I know you're always here in spirit, and it's always a treat to have you when you can be here. Seattle Judy, welcome. Says, I always thought it was funny. Ralph Malph on Happy Days. Dad in the show was named Mickey Mouth. Yeah, that was a fun little play on words they had there. Chance says the best part of Rob Zombie's The Monsters movie was seeing the return of Catherine Schell. Yeah, she was great in that. And you're right, General Ursus. There's not a lot. I mean, there's some similarities, but they're very different, right? The same way the Batman television series is very different than Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight series, but we can enjoy them all. Hey, Michael Staunton, all the way from Ireland. Great to have you with us. I'm glad you are enjoying the channel. All right, I'm going to take my last break here. We're going to watch a little something about Elizabeth Montgomery, and then we're going to, I might throw a little something, a short something, just a promo from Nick at Night, I think maybe, along with, and then I'll be back. And we'll talk some more and then wrap this thing up. If you are thinking that this video is going to be something of a downer, then think again. Instead, this is my attempt to share my thoughts and feelings about Elizabeth Montgomery, who played Samantha Stephens on Bewitched. Bewitched was classic TV. I grew up watching this show. I must admit, mostly on reruns in the early to mid 70s. And more specifically, I'd watch it mostly whenever I would play hooky from school. You know, I'd pretend to be sick so that I could stay home and watch TV. You did that too, right? Anyway, I would always make sure that Bewitched was on my list of must-see TV for that day. During its original run, 8 seasons on ABC, it was both a critical and ratings hit, although ratings did die down a bit towards the end. The reason for the show's success was the stellar cast. Montgomery was great, but so was Dick York as Sam's beleaguered husband Darren. I should say Darren number 1. Also, Agnes Moorehead was phenomenal as Samantha's disapproving mother. A witch marry a mere mortal? Unheard of! And I have to say, I loved the episodes where Montgomery played 2 roles. Those episodes were tons of fun and allowed Montgomery to really let loose and show off her wild side. After Bewitched came to an end, Montgomery moved on to television movies. Extremely memorable for me was a movie where she played Lizzie Borden. From what I've read, it turns out that Montgomery may have been a distant cousin to the real LB. What a weird world, huh? Anyway, I don't believe Montgomery was aware of that fact while she made the movie, but maybe, just maybe that's why she was so convincing in the role. And while I know she made many types of movies, as I think back, it seems like she favored working in westerns. In Mrs. Sundance, Montgomery starred with future husband Robert Foxworth, and Belle Starr was a truly underrated movie that was released all the way back in 1980. It is a hidden gem. Montgomery is awesome as the title character, but really this movie just clicks on all cylinders. It's great, you should look it up. In her personal life, Montgomery definitely had her critics because of some of the causes that she chose to get behind. Elizabeth was very politically active during the 70s and 80s. She was one of the earliest celebrities to support gay rights. Here she is with actor Dick Sargent, yep, Darren number 2, acting as a co-grand marshal at a gay rights parade. I truly admire Montgomery for her willingness to take a stand and act on her beliefs. I also admire her friendship and undying loyalty to her fellow Bewitched actor here. In my mind, regardless of your politics, loyalty in all of its forms, well, it's truly an admirable trait. For years, Montgomery had battled colon cancer, and by the early 90s, she truly believed that she had beaten it once and for all. Because of that, Montgomery ignored flu-like symptoms that she was experiencing while filming the television movie Deadline for Murder. When she did finally get to a doctor, she was told that the cancer had returned, and unfortunately, it had progressed to a point where treatment was not a viable option. So instead, Montgomery opted to return home with Foxworth and bravely live out her remaining days with family and friends in dignity. Yes, she left us way too young. She really did. She was just 62 years old when she passed away. But what Montgomery did during those 62 years was truly phenomenal. She entertained us. She built lasting friendships, strong relationships that supported her until the very end. And throughout, she was true to herself. She always spoke up for what she believed in. Simply put, Elizabeth Montgomery tried to make the world a better place, and I really believe that she succeeded. So that's it. What do you think? Were you a fan of Bewitched the way I was? And in particular, Ms. Montgomery? Share your memories in the comment section below, and while you're at it, I'd love a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and I would be honored if you would consider subscribing to my channel. I talk about music, movies, and television, mostly from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. You know, the good stuff. But most importantly, and as always, thank you so much for watching.
The grown-ups of Hilldale. Why do they tremble? Why are they nervous? What are they all afraid of?
Hi, Mr. Welcome.
Dennis!
Dennis!
The Menace. Dun, dun, dun.
He's no ordinary kid.
Look at the way his hair sticks up and back.
He's the scariest thing to happen to grown-ups since shaving. Dennis, dun dun dun, the Menace. Ta-da! Weekdays at 6, 5 Central on Nickelodeon.
All right, I'm going to go through some of these comments super fast. There's some great ones here. Chance says Dave is right. Own your own content or your favorite content. Streaming is a shell game. Let's see what else we've got. Lance says that he's been watching Chips on Plex. Raja 1938 says Batman 66 is only available on Blu-ray, I believe. I own the DVDs. I hope they still make the DVDs, but that's possible. Let's see. General Ursus says they don't want you to own content. They want you to pay for it. Very true. Let's see. Channel member Justin Ayla says BMG was the Kmart of music clubs. David C. says Moonlighting was a great show. I completely agree. Van Pasterman says Pluto TV should have a Batman 66 channel. It's all about licensing rights, right? And I think maybe they could pull it off. It certainly would be wonderful. When Gary Carpenter says he's got at least 30 DVDs that need to be replaced, happens. They do tend to wear out, even though they're very, very durable. Let's see what else we've got going here. Yes, Chance says Disney once said they wouldn't release their Marvel streaming shows on Blu-ray or 4K, as well as their Star Wars ones, right? But now they are. Let's see. Al Oduardi says that he had KTEL 2. The songs were good, but they were shortened versions, yes, and they would cram them onto that platter, the vinyl platter, and the more you cram on there, the less the audio quality that LP has. Let's see. Blatchy Bear says, I think WKRP hasn't been on a streaming service because of the original music. Yeah, they've had to go in and replace some of the songs because of licensing rights. Lance says KTEL rocks. Hey, Alberto Morales is here with us. Good to have you here. I didn't mind the shortened versions. Nick Mamonis is in the house. He says, hi, Dave. One thing DVD has over streaming is there's no time limit. Contracts end when you stream. Absolutely. Love it. Love it. Hey, good night, Marshall. Great to have you here. Hey, Patrick Rowe, welcome to the live stream tonight. You know what? This is just a real informal chat. I share a few videos. We talk about whatever. Hopefully you've enjoyed yourself with us tonight. BK Justice says Law and Order has a great theme song. It is very late 70s, early 80s. Yeah, you're right. Let's see. What else do we have here? General Ursus points out that Alan Hill Jr. once guest starred on Batman. I don't remember that episode, and I should. I absolutely should. And he was, yes, also on The Wild Wild West. Many episodes as he... there were some episodes that Artemis Gordon wasn't on. And so he played a different character that was a sidekick to James West. Let's see. You're very welcome, Chance. Great to have you here tonight, hanging out with us. Tug, great to have you here as well. Gary Carpenter said, met Noel Mill twice. She was a very nice lady. I hear she was. Let's see what else we've got going here. Samantha Stevens had a cameo in the comedy How to Stuff a Wild Bikini. Did not know that. Oh, I wouldn't be so hard on good old Dick Sargent. You know, he did his very best. But much like Melissa, Dick York is my favorite Darren as well. David C. points out that the entire cast of Bewitched was on various episodes of The Twilight Zone. I'm not sure if she won an Emmy or not. It wouldn't surprise me. She was a great actress. Mr. Led says that as a child, he wasn't allowed to watch Bewitched. Darn it all. Because she was a witch. Yeah, I can see where some folks might have issues with that. Let's see what else we've got here. Hey, thanks for hanging with us, Barry. I love it when you get to hang out with us, and I love it when you come on the live streams. We need to do that again real soon. Channel member John Collins. Look at this. Member for 25 months. Before I even read the comment, thank you so much for your loyalty and being just such an ardent supporter of the channel, John. Yes, I did see your direct message on X, aka Twitter, about that Andy Griffith show. Haven't watched it yet. I will definitely get to it. I have it tagged, and I will eventually, and maybe it'll inspire a new Andy Griffith video. Who knows? Who knows? But thank you so much for all you do, John. Let's see. Melissa Foster says that Elizabeth Montgomery could play any character. Indeed she could. Indeed she could. Yeah, pretty darn impressive, John. Hey, Danny Staten's here. Good to have you with us, Danny. Always a treat to have you all the way from South Carolina. Let's see. What else we've got here? Tammy Patton says she was the voice of a barmaid on Batman the Animated Series. Are we talking about Elizabeth Montgomery or someone else? Huh. I did enjoy that episode with Jonah Hex in it. It was good. Let's see. Yes, it's also on DVD. For those folks that... I'm kind of a DVD guy as opposed to a Blu-ray. You know what? My old man eyes, they can't tell the difference. They really can't. Well, happy birthday on December 10th, Lance. Let's see. Nick Mamona says, I saw the whole Batman. Or you mean the old Batman on Roku? Yes, I watched the Batman serials on Roku as well. Let's see. Paul Williams was the issue? Or the reason behind WKRP having licensing issues? That surprises me. Let's see. David C. says, the episode of Batman with Alan Hill involved Vincent Price as Egghead. Okay, I'll have to check that out. Oh. Folks, look at this. We got DOA version 2.1 just arriving. Good to have you here, Danny, 2 days after your birthday. You're a bit younger than me. You're a year or two younger than me. Great to have you here. Both DOA version 2.1 and Danny Staten. I think you guys know each other, right? And let's see. Lance says bye. I think this is probably the right time to wrap things up. Folks, it's been fun. Let me read this comment from John. I'm going to read any channel member comments. So any channel member comments, now I'm going to dedicate the last couple of minutes here to channel member comments. So if you're a channel member, you want to have me read a particular comment or answer a particular question, now's your time. John Collins says, Dave, you could make a presentation about which Three's Company star had the best most commercials. Well, we all know who that was. And I love making Joyce DeWitt commercial or videos, so maybe I will at some point in the future. All right. I don't see any other comments from channel members. I love the level of engagement we've had here tonight. Oh, wait. Here's one. Channel member Tracy Rothmeyer says, happy birthday, Danny. Well, happy birthday indeed to you, Danny Staten. You're a fun YouTube creator. That's what I'm going to say about the amazing things you do over on your various channels. And thanks for all you do. Thanks for making YouTube a better place. And I hope your 58th birthday was a good one. Oh, good question. We can cover that real quickly. Channel tiers reset. So here's the deal. I'm going to collapse channel tiers. I'm going to leave the Super Friend channel, but there's no additional benefit to being a Super Friend other than if you want to be one, I appreciate it and I will thank you. I thank you for it. But the main channel membership tier will be the Super Fan channel, which is $2 a month, get you access to everything that I do, advance access to videos, all my channel member exclusive live streams, exclusive videos that are only for channel members. Those are all available to you for $2 a month, and that will be effective shortly before the end of the month. I'm going to eliminate the general support tier simply because it's just too much to have that many channel membership tiers. So really, while you can still become a super friend, I'm just going to focus on delivering features and benefits for the super friend tier, which is $2 a month. So soon, before the end of the month, I will be eliminating that. And so that everybody that may be part of that general support tier, you can go ahead and upgrade. However, if you're trying to downgrade, YouTube makes you quit channel membership completely. Now, if you're worried about losing your count as to how many months you've supported the channel, don't worry about that. Once you re-sign up, it'll start you up right where you left off in terms of the count. So enough of that. Appreciate everybody who supports the channel that way. Let's see. This is Sours Elvis. It's great to have you here. I'm glad you were able to hang out with us. Channel member Tracy Rothmeyer says, good night, guys. Thank you so much. I think this is the time to say good night to all of you, which means that I'm going to do what I always do, which is bring on Fred Rogers to tell you how I feel about all of you. I hope you all have a tremendous remainder of the week. And, for those of you that are not feeling well or experiencing challenges, know that I'm thinking about you, and I just hope everything goes well, gets better, and we'll talk to you all soon. Take care, folks. Have a great evening.
You are special.